Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the English Story Nook. We are delighted to have you join us today. Today, we're diving into a story about a dedicated gardener named Caro and a surprising mystery that unfolds in her cherished rooftop garden. Get ready to discover what happens when things take an unexpected turn and how a little bit of curiosity can lead to understanding. Before we begin our story, if you enjoy our content here at the English Story Nook and find it helpful for your learning, we'd be so grateful if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to support us further, you can consider buying us a coffee. You'll find a link in the description below. Every gesture of support helps us continue creating these stories for you. Thank you so much. And now, let's get started with today's story. The rooftop garden faded overnight. Caro Tia Limpofu loved her small rooftop garden. It was her happy place in the big city. She had bright red tomatoes, green basil, and colorful flowers. Every morning, she went up to the roof to water them and enjoy the quiet. Her garden was a splash of green in the gray city, and she was very proud of it. She often shared her tomatoes with her friends, and they all said her plants were wonderful. But one Tuesday morning, something was wrong. Very wrong. Caro walked onto the rooftop and looked at her plants. Her heart felt heavy. All her beautiful plants were droopy. The leaves were soft and hanging down. The bright colors of her flowers were faded. Even her strong tomato plants looked sad and droopy. They were not standing tall and green like yesterday. "Oh no," Caro whispered. "What happened to my lovely plants?" It was a mysterious problem. Just yesterday, her garden was perfect and full of life. Today, it looked like it was dying. She felt very sad and confused. She knew she had to investigate this. She needed to find out why her plants were suddenly so sick and unhappy. Caro decided to investigate immediately. First, she thought about what could make plants sick. Was it the weather? No, the night was not too cold. Did she forget to water them? No, she watered them yesterday evening, like always. She then talked to her neighbor, Arosha Spandil. Arosha lived in the apartment below Caro and had a few plants on her small balcony. "Arosha, did you see anything strange last night?" Caro asked, her voice full of worry. "My rooftop plants are all droopy and look terrible this morning." Arosha looked concerned. "That's very strange, Caro. My plants are a little bit droopy too, but not as bad as you say yours are. Maybe it was a very strong wind? Or perhaps not enough water?" Caro shook her head. "I checked the weather forecast. It was a normal night, and I always water them enough." This made the situation even more mysterious. What could it be? Caro went back to the rooftop. She looked carefully around her plants. She checked the soil again. It was still a little damp. Then, near the stairs that led to the roof, she saw something. It was an empty plastic spray bottle. It had no label. Caro picked it up. What was in this bottle? And why was it here? This was a very mysterious clue. Later that day, Caro was looking out her apartment window. She saw Mestre Ramos, the building caretaker. He was cleaning a wall on the side of the building, far below her window. He was using a spray bottle that looked very similar to the one Caro found on the roof. Mestre was usually a quiet man and always seemed busy with his work. Caro watched him for a moment. Could his work be connected to her dying garden? She decided she needed to investigate further by talking to him directly. The next morning, Caro saw Mestre Ramos near the building entrance, sorting the recycling bins. She took a deep breath and went to talk to him. She wanted to be polite and not accuse him of anything. "Mr. Ramos," Caro started gently, "can I ask you about your cleaning work yesterday? I found an empty spray bottle on the roof, and all my plants there are not well. They look very sick." Mestre looked surprised, then thoughtful. "Oh, hello, Caro. Yes, I was cleaning yesterday. My company, Bright Sordidus Dunkel Solutions, gave me a new strong cleaning liquid to test on the building walls. It removes graffiti very well, you see." He continued, looking a bit worried now. "I was working on a high wall near the roof access late in the afternoon. I tried to be very careful, but maybe some of the spray drifted with the wind onto your garden. I'm so sorry. I didn't think it could harm plants." He then showed Caro the information sheet for the cleaner from his bag. It clearly said, "Warning, harmful to delicate plants. Avoid contact with foliage." Caro felt a mix of sadness for her plants and relief. Her poor plants. But at least the mysterious problem was solved. It was an accident. Mestre didn't mean to make her plants sick and droopy. "I am very, very sorry," Mestre said again, looking genuinely upset. "It was not my intention at all. I will be much more careful in the future when I use strong chemicals. And I want to help. I can get some fresh soil from the garden center, and I will help you buy a few new plants this weekend if you like." Caro managed a small smile. "Thank you, Mestre. That is very kind. I would appreciate that." She was still sad about her damaged garden, but she was glad she decided to investigate and talk to him. Now she knew what happened, and Mestre was willing to help. Later that week, Arosha helped Caro remove the most damaged plants. With Mestre's help, they got new soil and some small, healthy plants. The rooftop garden was not as full as before, but Caro knew, with a little time and care, it would be green and beautiful again. And that's the end of our story for today. We hope you enjoyed following Caro as she looked for answers. What did you think about how Caro handled the situation? We'd love to hear your ideas in the comments section. If you found this story helpful for your English practice, please do give it a like. And remember, for extra practice with today's story, you can find some helpful resources, including a free PDF, in the description box below. Thank you for spending your time with us today at the English Story Nook. We hope you feel inspired to continue your English learning journey. Keep practicing, stay curious, and we look forward to welcoming you back for another story very soon. Goodbye for now, and happy learning.